Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 549 based on novel. So let's start. There was a beast on the immortal astral continent named the Eye Fish. Its head was mostly taken up by its open mouth and its body looked something like a 10,000-foot long mud snake. The beast liked to devour earth and absorb the essences of the earth to nourish its body, and spiritual energy to nourish its soul. Young eye fishes often remained in silts of rivers and never revealed themselves. As time passed, adult eye fishes could reach 10,000 feet in length. They would drill through the silt and enter the earth. Then they would travel underground to a nearby mountain and sleep. On the immortal astral continent, most of the eye fishes were sealed by sects as protector beasts, but they were not loved by cultivators. When they entered a mountain, they would fuse with it. Although that gave the mountain a spirit, the mountain would soon turn into yellow sand. These eye fishes that stole celestial energy had to be sealed. In truth, almost all the eye fishes that were found on the immortal astral continent were immediately sealed. Wang Lin was sitting on the desert of this planet. The wind howled as large sandstorms were kicked off. The storms covered the world and made everything look dim. Wang Lin learned about the eye fishes from the memories of the third soul. The seven-colored celestial sovereign had brought a young eye fish to the 300 destroyed worlds and intended to raise it here for a while before retrieving it. However, he had died and shattered, so the eye fish remained here. Wang Lin had detected the aura of the beast and spotted the desert planet while he was escaping. This made him decide to return to this place. Wang Lin grabbed a handful of yellow sand and felt a trace of spiritual energy. His divine sense spread out and found the aura of a beast deep inside the planet. These various signs on the surface revealed that the beast below was likely the eye fish. An eye fish that was able to grow without restrictions and live in this world for so long. There are bound to be mutations. This is the only planet in this world, meaning the other planets have already been absorbed by the eye fish. This final one, Wang Lin's divine sense withdrew and everything about the planet appeared in his mind. I can set up an ambush here. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and glinted with a cold light. His right hand formed seals and countless restrictions appeared to form the realm-burning umbrella. The moment the umbrella appeared, a heat wave rushed out and spread across the sky. The clouds scattered as a giant umbrella appeared in the sky. After the umbrella opened, the canopy fused with the umbrella's pole. It was like a pillar that connected the sky and the earth. Wang Lin looked up at the burning umbrella and bit the tip of his tongue to spray out blood. The blood seemed to be burning as it flew toward the sky. Thunderous rumbles echoed and then the umbrella slowly disappeared. Even the giant umbrella pole became transparent until no trace of it remained. The realm-burning umbrella fused with the void, making it impossible to distinguish them. However, anyone who entered the planet would be shrouded in the fire. This was the first ambush. Wang Lin's breathing was a bit rushed. Even with his late-stage spirit void cultivation, using this spell was difficult, especially when he wanted to display more of its power. It should be able to display more power. Wang Lin raised right hand and pointed at his left eye. The fire essence in his left eye appeared and fire raged. He waved his right hand and a sea of fire flew out from his left eye. The sea of fire turned into a fire vermilion bird and flew into the sky. The fire vermilion bird was too big, and its tail feathers spread open like a phoenix. After circling a few times, it disappeared from the world. Wang Lin closed his eyes and calmly cultivated for a while. Then he suddenly opened his eyes. His hands formed seals and he began to mutter. A moment later, seven-colored light erupted from his hands. This seven-colored light looked the same as the spells from the seven-colored Daoist. Now that Wang Lin was using the spell, it was even more dazzling, and the light covered every part of the planet. Seven-colored Dao Lance. Wang Lin let out a roar and his arms opened. The sky rumbled as the seven-colored light gathered in the sky to form the seven-colored lance. This lance gave off a shocking aura and let out to him once it appeared. Then it flew toward Wang Lin and stabbed into the earth to the right of Wang Lin. This was the second ambush. After using these two powerful spells back to back, Wang Lin looked tired, but he didn't stop. He pointed to between his eyebrows and a shadow appeared over him. The shadow gradually separated until his original body and avatar split. The original body with the ancient Tao inheritance flew into the sky and his right hand reached out. The world changed color as the heaven-splitting axe appeared. Wang Lin's original body grabbed it and disappeared. The full power attack of the ancient Tao inheritance was the third ambush. After the 3 ambushes, Wang Lin's expression looked dim and his breath became rapid. He adjusted himself for half an instant of time before opening his eyes once more. He waved his right hand and the ghostly sail appeared. This object came from the immortal astral continent and was a powerful treasure. Although Wang Lin hadn't fully comprehended it, he could still use it to cast illusions. Wang Lin pondered for a moment before he bit his left index finger and dripped blood on the ghostly face. His blood was quickly absorbed by the ghostly face. In just 3 breaths, half of his blood was absorbed, causing Wang Lin's face to turn pale. At the 4th breath, the ghostly face stopped absorbing blood and its eyes revealed a demonic light. Wang Lin held the sail up and waved it. The ghostly face flew out and let out a silent roar. Its body expanded until it enveloped the planet and disappeared. After the ghostly face disappeared, the world seemed to change, but it was very difficult to find what the issue was. This ghostly face illusion was Wang Lin's 4th ambush. Wang Lin's forehead was covered in sweat. He wiped away the sweat and took a deep breath. He pointed at the sky with his right hand and a roar echoed across the world. There was a small ghostly dot, and it rapidly expanded into the nether beast. This beast's body hadn't expanded completely, it was only 1,000 feet large. However, its cold and ruthless eyes could cause anyone's heart to tremble. As Wang Lin pointed, the nether beast closed its eyes and its body became thin. It eventually turned into fog and shrouded the world. The entire world seemed to become blurry inside the fog. This nether beast was Wang Lin's 5th ambush. Wang Lin's cultivator avatar sat down on the yellow desert, feeling very tired. This was the first time he had used all these spells at once. If it was during a normal battle, he would never have the time to use them all, but right now it was possible. There is still the 6th ambush. Wang Lin silently pondered and raised his left hand. The blood flowing out of the tip of his finger had already clotted, but he tore it open again. Then he drew a circle of blood around him. The moment the blood circle was formed, Wang Lin spat out a mouth of his essence energy onto it, causing it to be filled with the smell of blood and dense origin energy. As the smell of blood and origin energy spread out, the entire planet trembled. This tremble came from the heart of the planet and fused with the ground. The sand on the planet moved like waves. Then Wang Lin's hands formed a seal and bloodlines appeared in his eyes. A large amount of bloodlines appeared and fused with the circle of blood, hiding the aura coming from it. After a long time, the movement on the earth slowly dissipated and Wang Lin let out a breath of relief. The eye fish is my 6th ambush. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes, and there was a hint of golden light in his eyes. This golden light contained an extremely rich celestial bloodline. This was the only celestial blood Wang Lin had left. His right hand reached toward the void and there was a flash of golden light. The Li Guangbo appeared and he grabbed it. Wang Lin looked up at the sky. After a long time, he closed his eyes and began to simulate what could happen. The Li Guangbo was his last ambush, the 7th ambush. These 7 ambushes created this shocking trap. Time slowly passed. In a flash, another incense stick of time went by. Wang Lin opened his eyes and no longer hesitated. He waved his left hand and an unlit black incense stick appeared before him. Holding the incense stick, he waved it and ignited it. Black smoke quickly flew into the air like signal smoke. This didn't end. After the incense was ignited, Wang Lin threw it out, and it landed 30 feet away in the yellow sand. The fire flickered and the black smoke became even more dense. Wang Lin's left hand reached toward the void again and he pulled out Zixia, who had her eyes closed. Wang Lin didn't feel any pity as his finger landed between her eyebrows. She revealed a painful expression. Combined with her beautiful face, it could move anyone's heart. But Wang Lin's eyes were still cold, and the moment his finger landed between her eyebrows, her eyes opened. Xixia struggled as her right hand moved out of her control and grasped at the void. The message jade appeared in her hand. Holding the jade, Xixia struggled even more, but she could not control her body. She sent out a message and the jade shined brightly before shattering. The 7 ambushes had been set, and with the burning incense stick and jade, he had set the bait. Now he just needed to wait for the prey to arrive to set off a great battle on this planet. Wang Lin didn't think he could kill the 7-colored Daoist and Old Ghost John, but he didn't need to kill them. Sometimes, severely injuring someone had the same effect. After all, whether it was Old Ghost John or the 7-colored Daoist, if one of them was seriously injured, it would be a great opportunity for the other. As the incense stick burned, the situation in the 300 destroyed worlds changed. An old man wearing a rough, blue robe was moving through a world, but he suddenly stopped. He looked up and his eyes revealed a strange light. Whose battle incense was ignited? Could that person have found something? The old man's body trembled and a vortex appeared before him. He followed the aura of the incense stick. A middle-aged man wearing a purple robe was sitting on a planet as if he was carefully looking for something. His nose suddenly moved as if he had caught a scent. His eyes lit up and he left without hesitation. All the 7 Dao sect disciples noticed the incense and they all moved. There was also the 6th and 3rd concubines that had entered the core of this cave world. They were in different worlds, but they both noticed the incense. The 6th concubine's eyes were filled with resentment as she had barely survived Wang Lin's attack. She clenched her teeth and followed the smell of the incense. As for the 3rd concubine, her expression was cold and her eyes were complicated. She hesitated and didn't know if she should go or not. She had come here with a different purpose than everyone else. She just wanted to go home. She missed her hometown and her teacher. She wanted to leave this cave world and return to the immortal astral continent. While hesitating, she bit her lower lip and disappeared. Aside from igniting the incense stick, there was also the jade. The moment the jade shattered, the Azure Dragon General, the Black Tortoise General, and the Vermilion Bird General all detected this and followed the message. There was also Old Ghost John, who had been following the group of cultivators with doubt building in his heart. The moment the jade broke, his expression immediately became gloomy and he looked back. His eyes revealed killing intent and he immediately turned around. As for the 7-colored Daoist, as he continued to move, the barrier between the worlds could no longer last. The barrier collapsed, but 7-colored light shined and reinforced the collapse. The 7-colored Daoist stood there with nothing before him. The moment the barrier collapsed, Wang Lin's aura disappeared. The 7-colored Daoist immediately guessed what had happened, and his eyes flooded with monstrous anger. He let out a roar of rage and turned around. Wang Lin, I won't give up until I kill you. The 7-colored Daoist took a step and instantly disappeared. The incense and jade were like Wang Lin announcing to everyone where he was. It was like dark smoke on a clear day, it could clearly be felt by everyone. The 7-colored Daoist also noticed and closed in at full speed. Wang Lin's avatar calmly sat there and held the Li Guang bow with his right hand. The bottom of the bow was stuck 3 inches into the sand. Holding the bow, Wang Lin closed his eyes. From a distance, he no longer looked like a cultivator but a hunter waiting for his prey. After a long time, many vortexes appeared in this world. A large amount of people that were looking for him appeared. Aside from White Tiger, the 3 generals appeared. The 6th and 3rd concubines also appeared. The 7 Dao sect disciples all arrived with an old man wearing a rough, blue robe leading them. The Sovereign and Dao Master Blue Dream appeared in this world, both looking tired. They looked at each other with coldness in their eyes. It was clear they had battled each other in the 300 destroyed worlds. Many cultivators came to this world, but none of them closed in on the planet Wang Lin was on, even though they clearly felt Wang Lin's aura the moment they appeared. The 3rd concubine looked at the planet in the distance with a complicated gaze. She didn't know if she was friends or enemies with Wang Lin, she couldn't figure it out. Shortly after, the old man named Ma from planet 5 Elements arrived, followed by the rest of his people. Their gazes swept past everyone and then looked at the planet in the distance. Just at this moment, a giant vortex appeared and was torn apart by the seven-colored light that came through. The seven-colored light lit up the area and the seven-colored Daoist appeared. Almost at the same moment the seven-colored Daoist appeared, Old Ghost Sean walked out of the void. They were 10,000 feet apart, and after looking at each other, they withdrew their gazes. A cold snort came from the seven-colored Daoist before he headed toward the planet. Old Ghost Sean was slightly behind as he moved toward the planet. Everyone else also flew forward, following them. Only the people from Planet 5 Elements remained there and coldly looked forward. The third concubine hesitated and didn't move forward. The seven-colored Daoist was the fastest. With one step, he arrived outside the planet. He looked at the planet and frowned. With his cultivation level, he obviously saw what was awaiting him on the planet, especially the beast that even he dreaded. All of this made the seven-colored Daoist stop and hesitate outside the planet. This planet can't be refined. Once it's refined, the beast will be provoked and it won't be worth it. This Wang Lin presumably waited here because of it. The moment the seven-colored Daoist stopped outside, Wang Lin opened his eyes. His gaze was calm. He raised his left hand and hit his forehead. There was a flash of ghostly light and Wang Lin took out the third soul. Wang Lin released his hand and the third soul floated out. Its aura wasn't contained at all, and it spread out. For others, the lure of the third soul wasn't nearly as strong as it was for the seven-colored Daoist and Old Ghost Sean. When the third soul appeared, it was like placing their lifelong hopes and dreams before them. It was within their grasp. This kind of temptation was not something they could resist. Anyone who can get within 10 feet of me can take this soul. Wang Lin's words echoed across the planet and became a thunderous rumble. The seven-colored Daoist's eyes were red. At this moment, he didn't need to be concerned about any possible ambushes on the planet, and he charged forward. He thought that with his strength, as long as he didn't draw the attention of the beast sleeping inside, there was nothing to worry about. Since he set ambushes here, he has basically trapped himself here. The seven-colored Daoist took one step and entered the planet. Old Ghost Sean could not resist the temptation. He entered the planet almost at the same time as the seven-colored Daoist. The rest of the cultivators hesitated but also closed in. They didn't want to compete, but they could not give up the chance to watch. In particular, the Azure Dragon, Black Tortoise, and Vermilion Bird charged out and entered the sky of the planet. Facing all of them, although Wang Lin's eyes were calm, his heart was boiling. His eyes were filled with battle intent, and he clenched the Li Guang bow even tighter. I wonder how many people I can kill as a sacrifice. Wang Lin looked up at the sky, and at this moment, the sky rumbled. The clouds moved apart like waves. Wang Lin saw the seven-colored Daoist, Old Ghost Sean, and the rest of the cultivators. The first ambush, Realm-Burning Umbrella. The umbrella refines all. Wang Lin's left hand formed a seal and pointed at the sky. The world trembled and the entire sky turned red. This red wasn't blood but the light from the fire. A sea of fire appeared out of nowhere and shrouded the world. Ripples echoed in the sea of fire, and a huge ancient umbrella appeared. The umbrella separated itself from the sea of fire in the sky. The umbrella pole that had disappeared reappeared, looking like a heaven-supporting pillar. The umbrella canopy covered the sky and blocked the path of everyone's retreat. Master Blue Dream was forced out by a force from the realm-burning umbrella. It was as if everyone who was not part of this slaughter was being pushed out. After all, in the slaughter that was going to happen, Wang Lin had no time to worry about Master Blue Dream, so he chose to stop him outside. Thunderous rumbles echoed, and the expressions of everyone who was blocked by the realm-burning umbrella changed. The seven-colored Daoist and Old Ghost Sean were the same, but they didn't have much time to think. The monstrous fire that covered the sky raged toward them. The realm-burning umbrella was not a spell of this cave world, and it had fused with Wang Lin's fire essence. Ethereal fire spread out and began burning the minds of the cultivators trapped here. Since learning the realm-burning umbrella, this was the first time Wang Lin was using it without any restrictions or care. Wang Lin had learned this spell from the madman. First open the umbrella, then close it to kill. Close 30%. Wang Lin's expression was gloomy and let out a roar as he waved his left hand. The sky rumbled and the giant umbrella in the sky slowly closed. As the umbrella closed, the fire inside became even hotter, and the temperature had reached a terrifying degree. Just 30% caused 3 of the 7 Tao sect disciples who hadn't reached the 3rd step to begin burning from the inside. They were instantly burnt to ashes. Close 60%. Wang Lin let out a roar and the veins on his face swelled. He closed the umbrella to an unprecedented 60%. The umbrella closed rapidly, and screams echoed. This time, even the expressions of the 3 generals changed. They could have never imagined that Wang Lin could possess these powerful spells that were even rare on the immortal astral continent. Close 80%. Wang Lin's limit was 80%, and the moment he said that, his face turned pale. The life force in his body depleted rapidly and his face aged a lot. At the same time, the umbrella suddenly closed. Miserable screams echoed. It was unknown how many people died. The 3 generals' minds trembled and blood flowed out from the corner of their mouths. They used their full cultivation to resist the power of the fire, and they moved at full speed to try to rush out of this sea of fire. The 7-colored Daoist and Old Ghost John were both gloomy. Even they had to spend some effort to resist this fire. After all, although their cultivation levels were high, their bodies were not like the ancient ones. The 7-colored Daoist had inherited the spells of the 7-colored celestial sovereign. This included the realm-burning umbrella as well. Although it was different from the one Wang Lin was using, no one else here knew it better than him. At this moment, he let out a roar and rushed out of the sea of fire. He charged straight at Wang Lin, filled with killing intent. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. After reaching 80%, Wang Lin knew he had hit his limit and couldn't close it 100%. However, Wang Lin was content with the effect of the realm-burning umbrella. As the 7-colored Daoist charged out, Wang Lin waved his left hand. The world trembled and the earth trembled as 7-colored light shined around Wang Lin. The 7-colored light shot into the sky and connected with the 7-colored light around the 7-colored Daoist, who was the first to rush out of the sea of fire. This 7-colored light connected the earth and the sky. A 7-colored lance charged out from the earth beside Wang Lin. It was like a 7-colored dragon as it charged at the 7-colored Daoist. This development was too sudden. The instant the 7-colored Daoist walked out of the sea of fire, his pupils shrank. He waved his sleeve and the lotus that had lost 2 petals appeared. Just like how he had blocked Wang Lin's blade, the lotus petals closed, surrounding the 7-colored Daoist. However, the 7-colored Daoist's lotus couldn't stop Wang Lin's 7-colored lance. Like the realm-burning umbrella, both were spells not from the cave world. If one could display a majority of the spell's strength, it was already very powerful. The lance instantly closed in on the lotus. The moment they collided, the 5 petals of the lotus collapsed one by one. As the pieces shattered, the lotus itself also shattered. The gloomy 7-colored Daoist was revealed. He instantly waved his right hand and an identical 7-colored lance appeared and collided with Wang Lin's lance. Rumble, 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 rumble. A heaven-shattering rumble echoed. The collision of the 2 lances set off a massive shockwave. Just at this moment, Wang Lin's 3rd ambush appeared. As the impact shattered, Wang Lin's original body appeared. The stars between his eyebrows and in his eyes all rotated until they formed a vortex. The ancient Tao shadow appeared behind him. His original body grew until it was 10,000 feet tall and fused with the shadow. He held up the heaven-splitting axe, and as the lances collided, he chopped down. With the chop, the heaven-splitting axe flew toward the 7-colored Daoist. At this moment, Old Ghost John walked out. Old Ghost John's eyes lit up and were filled with greed. As Wang Lin's original body swung the axe, he charged toward the 3rd soul before Wang Lin. However, Wang Lin had set 7 ambushes, so how could he let Old Ghost John do as he wished? Although Wang Lin couldn't match Old Ghost John's cultivation, he had ambushes prepared. Just as Old Ghost John got within 1,000 feet, Wang Lin's left hand formed a seal and pointed. The 4th ambush, Ghostly Blood Sail. Old Ghost John suddenly stopped and confusion arose in his eyes. A thunderous rumble echoed as a blood-colored fog appeared before him. The fog turned into a red, ghostly face and devoured Old Ghost John. This illusion could trap even the seven-colored Daoist, so Old Ghost John couldn't avoid it either. When Old Ghost John was devoured by the ghostly face, he immediately sat down, and his expression constantly changed. At the same time, Wang Lin's axe closed in on the seven-colored Daoist, and the sound of the axe flying through the void echoed. Wang Lin knew this blow couldn't injure the seven-colored Daoist, so he was willing to destroy the weapon. The heaven-splitting axe shattered into pieces, and the destructive force rushed out. Wang Lin's original body collapsed and blood splattered everywhere. However, with the ancient immortal body, his body rapidly recovered as he retreated toward his avatar. By the time his original body overlapped with his avatar, he had recovered completely. However, blood still streamed from the corners of Wang Lin's mouth and fell on his white robe. It was a shocking sight. As for the seven-colored Daoist, his hair was a mess and his eyes were filled with madness. He stepped toward Wang Lin. At the same time, the three generals and the sovereign had rushed out of the Sea of Fire. However, right after they rushed out, they stopped and their eyes were filled with disbelief. They could have never expected to see such a scene. Old Ghost John was surrounded by a red cloud of fog and was sitting there with a distorted face 1,000 feet from Wang Lin. The seven-colored Daoist's hair was a mess. He looked like he was in a sorry state, as if he was crazy. They didn't see what had happened earlier, they were only exposed to the result. Their hearts were filled with horror. The sovereign was filled with disbelief as he knew how powerful the seven-colored Daoist and Old Ghost John were. Those two people had actually ended up in such a sorry state before Wang Lin. This caused his heart to tremble. The Azure Dragon General gasped and looked at Wang Lin with a sense of dread he never had before. This kind of thing became even more shocking when there was a comparison. The Black Tortoise's face turned pale and he looked around. He remembered Wang Lin's heavenly Tao, and fear rose in his heart. He even felt some regret coming here. The Vermilion Bird General's feeling was more complicated. It was difficult to suppress the shock in his heart. There was also the sixth concubine. She had barely escaped the Sea of Fire and was injured. Now that she saw this terrifying scene, her fear for Wang Lin resurfaced. However, in truth, Wang Lin had already used 5 of his 7 traps and was injured. Both his avatar and original body were seriously injured. If it wasn't for him holding on by a breath, he would have already fallen unconscious. He had arrived here first and had set up an ambush, but he was still injured to such state. This just showed how powerful the seven-colored Daoist was. The seven-colored Daoist's killing intent toward Wang Lin had reached its peak. At this moment, he rapidly closed in and raised his right hand. He wasn't even going to grab the third soul but was going to kill Wang Lin. Wang Lin's face was pale, but his eyes were calm. As the seven-colored Daoist closed in, Wang Lin still held the Li Guang bow with his right hand and pointed at the seven-colored Daoist with his left. Heavenly Tao, devour the world. At this moment, the world trembled and a giant rift appeared before the seven-colored Daoist. From a distance, this rift looked like a large mouth. The nether beast appeared, and it suddenly opened its eyes, revealing the coldness and ruthlessness within. As the seven-colored Daoist closed in, it devoured. Once the nether beast opens its mouth, it devours all life. A few of the 7 Dao sect disciples struggled free from the Sea of Fire. Just as they got free and caught a glimpse of what was going on, they were sucked into the nether beast's mouth. Even a portion of the Sea of Fire in the sky was devoured by the nether beast. The 3 generals' expressions changed greatly, and they solidified their bodies to resist. However, the 6th concubine couldn't fight the suction force and was pulled into the nether beast's mouth as she screamed. The sovereign was completely startled. He looked at the nether beast with a pale face. When he first saw the nether beast, he had his guesses. The scene of his master being devoured was something he could not forget. When he first saw the nether beast, he hesitated and couldn't tell because of the nether beast's dumb expression. However, seeing those cold and ruthless eyes now, the sovereign didn't hesitate to retreat. The expression of the seven-colored Daoist changed and he suddenly stopped. He stared at the nether beast with eyes filled with shock. Heaven! Heavenly Tao. The nether beast was not complete, so it couldn't devour people who were too powerful. Wang Lin knew this, but he had still made it the 5th ambush just to shock the 7-colored Daoist. After all, Wang Lin could not use the stop spell on the 7-colored Daoist. He could not withstand the backlash that would cause. As a result, he could only summon the nether beast to create an effect similar to the stop spell. 6th ambush. Wang Lin revealed a grim smile, but this smile was very weak, and blood continued to flow out from the corner of his mouth. This made his smile very dark and grim. Wang Lin's left hand hit the ground. The method that the white tiger used to control strength that Wang Lin learned from the 2nd-generation vermilion bird echoed through the ground. The vibration stimulated the sleeping mutated eye fish deep underground. Also at this moment, the blood circle Wang Lin had drawn flew into the air and the restrictions disappeared. The smell of blood and origin energy were no longer hidden and completely erupted. This blood circle flew toward the 7-colored Daoist. Just as the 7-colored Daoist snapped out of his shock, the blood circle exploded. The aura of the blood circle surrounded the 7-colored Daoist. The planet rumbled, and a dominating roar that had been sleeping for countless years came from deep inside the planet. At the same time as the roar appeared, the yellow sand on the planet surged upwards. This video will end here.